Class is in session. Welcome to the Wukusu Class podcast, where best-selling author, educator, community organizer, and empowerment coach Ajay Taimba drops 15 to 45 minutes of unapologetic leadership, self-empowerment, and Black political education content every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This is where activists sharpen their skills, community leaders get their game tight, and everyday folks learn to wake up, clean up, and stand up, in the words of Malcolm X. Tap in, take notes, and let's build.
Peace and Black Power family. It's Brother Ajay Taimba from Harlem Liberation School, where we teach Black people how to wake up, clean up, and stand up. That three-part outline and three-part call to action from our beloved ancestor, Brother Malcolm X. There is no magic pill for Black liberation, any type of liberation, but specifically Black liberation. Now, what do I mean by that? When you think of a magic pill, or some say magic bullet, it's this idea that this one thing, this one pill will get rid of your gout. This pill gonna fix the blemishes. The pill is gonna grow you some muscles and reduce your body fat. No, that does not exist. There's no such thing, right? It's this idea that we can approach life and serious matters in a very sort of oversimplified, careless, intellectually careless sort of way. All we got to do is read and get knowledge yourself. No, well, that's good. You'll be informed. That's important. That's foundational. But you got to do more than read, family, to be free. Or all we got to do is defend ourselves. Okay, you protect your minds and bodies. That's important. It's necessary. But certainly there's a lot more to our liberation and to nationhood than simply physically protecting ourselves. It's almost as if, family, we have a tendency as human beings to privilege and uphold the things that we do. So that is to say, if I'm big on agriculture and I got a farm and I'm producing food and grain and all these things, I got livestock, big game animals, that I'm going to, we need agriculture. Yeah, of course we need agriculture. But it's almost like, because that's what I do, I privilege it, almost as if to say, to the exclusion of everything else we need. Now, Brother Neely Fuller told us many years ago, in the 80s, I believe, that a nation needs several things. He framed it as 9 areas of human activity, and we could add to that 10, maybe mental and physical health. But it's stuff like labor, war, education. He goes through a whole list of things. And if you think about the nation you live in right now, even the city you live in, and all the different parts of that city that you engage in a common work week or weekend, you will be able to understand what I mean. There's no magic pill. Think about your city. You get mail, you can drive, you get driver's licenses, you go to the doctor, right? If you're sick, your kids may go to school, you may go to college, continuing education, or whatever you're doing. All of these things are part of your city and nation, right? So it would be probably unfair and inaccurate to say, all we need is education. Well, yeah, you do. But education ain't going to mean much if you're not alive to do anything with it. So you got to protect yourself too. And that's not enough, right? You also have to create economic engines so people can work and sustain themselves and their families. And you might also want to make sure you have a place to go to medicinally. To my podcast family, if you're finding value in this podcast, if it's inspiring, educating, and empowering you, consider supporting the work. Your contributions help keep this platform going strong, bringing you knowledge and motivation for the journey ahead. You can send your support via Cash App to $TRUSELF, followed by the numbers 143. Every dollar helps us continue spreading the message of empowerment, leadership, and liberation. Thank you. If your physical health is compromised, a place to go psychologically if your mental health is compromised. All of these, and there's many more things I could list, but I'm not going to bore you with a whole long list. The point here is very simple. Our liberation has several components to it. And we cannot get so caught up in what we do that we forget all the other things that a nation needs. Kind of like your human body, right? It has a heart, and that's very important. And so your heart is strong, but your kidneys fail, right? So it's not enough to have the strong heart. Your kidneys got to be in pretty good shape, and your liver should be in pretty good shape, and your lungs should be in pretty good shape. All of those things work together. It's the same thing. We talk about ourselves as a black nation. So we can't just uphold the things that we value for ourselves. We have to think larger than that. Back up off the mountain and look at things in its complexity, and you'll see what I'm saying. Let's take an example. Scholarship. I see a lot of scholarship. Do we need good scholars? Yes. Do we need people who can render good scholarship? Yes. That's unbiased, objective, accurate, well done? Yes. However, if we had the best scholars in the world, that is not enough for a nation to function effectively, family. We still need economics. We still need some political structure. We still need governance, people that can write legislation and create the rules. We might need something that deals with enforcing our law. We might need something that deals with the deviant population of our citizenry that breaks the laws, that are menaces to our society. We have to have a way of dealing with them. All of these things, we have to feed the people. We have to clothe the people. We have to educate and take care of people when they're sick. So it's a lot more than one thing. There's at least 9, 10 different things. We need a transportation department. We need all of these different things, right? Now, let's take scholarship. If that's the thing we say, oh, that's the biggest thing in the world. I want you to think about this. I was in this doctorate program. What I noticed was that a lot of the people that were in my department were not really concerned with Black liberation. No disrespect to them. Good people, very good scholars, very good young people, but they didn't seem to be preoccupied with this idea of Black people being free. They were more kind of concerned, I'm going to present papers, I'm going to write some scholarly articles, I'm going to teach at this college. Yeah, that's great. But when we're talking about liberation, it seems to me that if people are going to get a degree to get a job and that's it, that's not enough. Now, I want you to think about this. How many of you have read a scholarly book? I mean, straight up by a PhD doctorate candidate or person that has their doctorate, and it's a scholarly book, mad citations, high language. I want you to think about how many people in our population read those type of books, go to Black studies conferences and listen to the papers that are being read or presented. A very small minority of our people. Now, on the other hand, how many of you heard of Malcolm X? How many of you read Malcolm X Speaks? How many of you read the autobiography of Malcolm X? That was by far not a scholarly book at all, by any stretch of the imagination. Well written, good language, good structure, but it wasn't scholarly. And yet that book has been a bestseller since Malcolm published the book in '64, right? And it has made more Africans I know and New Africans wake up and get committed and understand what it means to be New African or Black and to fight for our liberation than any other book I know of. Not scholarly. So I want people to understand that everything that we say is that the magic bullet has its limits. It's good in these areas. It doesn't make a big impact in other areas. For instance, if I wrote a big dissertation, 300, 400 pages on why we need to fight and protest and organize and challenge the system, that some of you might read that book. Some of you might be inspired by the book. But think of how much more inspiring this is, and it's not a book at all. It has nothing to do with scholarship. Check this out. Fight the Power by Public Enemy, the video or the song. It's not a dissertation, not a scholarly work, but something about that driving music and something about those lyrics and that refrain, fight the power. Fight the powers that be. And all those Black people in unison, organized, I believe they shot this in Brooklyn with Spike Lee. That is going to do more to mobilize a crowd and get people to say, we got to get ready to fight or join this protest than any thick book that you're going to give them. So scholarship in this case of a magic pill has limitations. There's some places where it's strong and effective, and there's some places where that's not the tool that's going to do it for us, right? That's like taking a monkey wrench and trying to bang a nail or unscrew something. It's not made for that. It's the wrong tool. I want you to think about this. You're trying to write a great big dissertation or book on why Black people should not help white supremacists by killing each other, by participating in fratricide. We got to stop the killing. This is a book, thick book. How many of our people in this country are going to read that book and get inspired to stop the killing versus self-destruction video? Some of the greatest hip-hop artists at that time involved in this, right? And this is Kumo D, Miss Melody, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Heavy D, MC Light, Chuck D, and Flavor Flav, all these people. And what are they doing? They're over in Harlem, and they're talking about the need for us to stop killing each other, how when we participate in fratricide, we're benefiting other people and not ourselves, and how we should conduct ourselves in events with each other. That video may have done more to raise our consciousness about being peaceful with each other and hospitable and loving than any book you're going to read. What I'm trying to get us to see, I'm just using scholarship as an example. Scholarship is not a magic pill for liberation. It is one of many things we need. We are sick in many ways, and we've been made sick by an enemy so that they can consciously and consistently exploit our labor and our intelligence, right? And our ideas, our creativity. So we've been made sick. We need all types of medicine, family. That one pill ain't gonna do it. I'm sorry, we need a cocktail of medicines. Think about what happens when you need a history of an event or incident, but there is no documented history. You may have to go to oral history. That's not scholarship in the traditional way. This is people talking. They may get a few facts wrong. They may not remember certain things. They don't have anything to cite as a citation other than what they actually saw and heard. Check this out.
We want to talk about the Tulsa Race Massacre.
Yes.
Mother Fletcher, may I ask, what do you remember from that night?
Remember the noise of guns shooting, people running and screaming, and noise from the air like an airplane, and just so many things. It was disturbing, and fires burning and smelling smoke. And then we could hear someone going through the neighborhood that everybody should leave town, that they were killing all the Black people.
Okay, so in a context where you don't have a newspaper or microfiche or some book to document what happened 70 or 100 years ago, then you don't have scholarship in the traditional sense, but you have oral history. You got grandma telling the story to grandkids, people who remember, who were there, who saw what happened, are giving you their firsthand account. That's primary sources. The point here, people can know a lot and this and that, and they're eating all the wrong foods, and they're not exercising, and they're becoming obese, and they're becoming inflexible, and and so they're dying prematurely of diseases caused by obesity and high cholesterol and hypertension. So they know a lot intellectually, but what are they not doing? Exercising, taking care of the physical. And so the physical is decaying, even with that brilliant and bright mind they got. There's several areas that we have to look at. We need military. So we got money, we got economics, we got education going, we got culture. Everybody knows who they are and where they come from, but we have no capacity to defend our communities, our credit unions and banks, our cooperative businesses, our places of worship, or our homes. And so invaders and outsiders can come in and wipe us out. No matter how smart we are, no matter how much exercise we do, how much money we make. So I'm making the point, when people are on YouTube and Facebook and all these social media platforms, and they're pushing a particular agenda, a particular strategy or approach, always remember as you're listening to them, okay, I can appreciate what he or she is saying. This one says, all we need is a sweet white Jesus. This one says, all we need is Allah. This one's pushing some different spiritual or deity on us. This one's pushing a certain type of economics, Marxism, socialism, capitalism. But we got to always ask, what is being pushed to us? Is it part of the answer, or is this a comprehensive strategy composed of several answers? And what you're going to find is what we need to be free is a comprehensive strategy that takes into account all the things, at least the major things that we need in a nation. A nation is great if it has smart people, they have educational systems, but people need to be able to travel. So they need a transportation system. People need to be able to send mail. So they need a postage system. People need to be able to make money and take care of themselves. We need an economic system, and I can keep going. All these different things are part and parcel of what we call a sovereign nation. How about some land? You're very smart, you got money, but you don't have any land to build nothing on. Or you got land to build something on, but you have nobody there that's an architect that knows anything about construction. I think I made my point. Let us be sophisticated in our thinking. Let us always remember that, yeah, this is what I'm good at, but just because I'm good at it, it doesn't mean it's the only thing that's important. We start thinking of building relationships with other Africans and new Africans that have the skills and the knowledge bases that we do not. So we can start forming really strong linkages, and we can actually have the semblance, at least, of a functioning nation within a nation, right? Where we link up the economic people with the landowners, with the philanthropists, with the social workers, with the educators, with the entrepreneurs, the small business owners, with the people who are into governance and government. And then we'll start seeing what I'm saying, what a nation needs to work. And that's how we have to be. Sophisticated, complex, deluxe, and comprehensive. That's all I wanted to say, family. Thank you for your time and your attention.